Welcome, masses. Welcome back to One Name Sports. And today we're going to look at a nice little opinion piece. To me, we're going to look at some of the worst big signings to be in modern football history. So we're going to go from 2000s. I'm just going to go over just a couple and share my opinions on that. But drop some of your, your worst signings below. And we can discuss, who you think is who you think is the worst of the worst. But without further ado, we're just gonna go right into it. All right, so we're only gonna concentrate on the big teams and some big major signings. So for the first one, we're gonna go with Chelsea, and we're gonna stick to their strikers. We're gonna go Shevchenko versus Morata. Now, Shevchenko, I'm a baller, like prime AC Milan. Them one day you could write it down at the start of the season, 25 goals, and put it down. And you know you're going to get it. Morata wasn't. Morata was at Juve for 3 years or something like that. After he left Real bought him back. He was a backup to Benz, and whenever Benz wasn't in the rotation or they wanted to arrest him, he was scoring. I think he got to 20. I'm not sure. And because of his performances with Juve and Real, Chelsea dropped the mother load on him and brought him in to be the rival, per se, to us when we had bought Lukaku at the same time. I remember Manu was really like, do we want Morata or do we want Lukaku? We ended up going with Lukaku. But that man right there, he had a scoring problem. It was... Chelsea has a curse with their strikers since Drogba left, but that probably was started with Shevchenko. Sheva, Falcao, Torres, Morata, Griezmann, now Werner. But Morata was terrible. And Sheva was. The fall from grace was Sheva, which is what I think made it worse. 2 years just of wasted time in at Chelsea. Morata, because of the amount they paid for him, it looked really bad. But I'm gonna have to go with Sheva because he was just a favorite of mine in the red, white, and black. And for him to come over to Chelsea and just stink up the place was just remarkable. No. Chelsea fans, I know that was tough to hear, but we have Manu too. We are going Alexis versus Owen Hargreaves. When Owen Hargreaves got bought, oh my God, you couldn't tell me nothing. We had the successor for Roy Keane / Scholes. He was lined up to move us forward into the great beyond. Hargreaves turning out to be what Hargreaves is what messed up our entire transition. Like, if Hargreaves could have stayed healthy, we wouldn't have any like, he was already set up to be the next captain. The man performed so well for England. He might come from Bayern Munich, even though he must make out that wet tissue paper and Pringles at Bayern Munich, because he was performing well with England. We're like, yes, Jaja. And what happened after that? We end up buying Schweinsteiger, Fellaini, Herrera. Like, the amount of year before Bruno get by, all the years since, the problems that we were having in midfield was because of the Hargreaves signing not working out. Hargreaves really messed us up for a long, long time. And as you can already tell, I'm going to give him the edge. But the Alexis signing is almost as bad because of the king's ransom that we paid Arsenal for a player that was out of contract in 6 months. We gave him so much money, and he was supposed to fix our entire attack. He was going to be the leader for Rashford and Martial, and he's going to be the beacon, the number 7 great new Ronaldo that man come in there, and I feel like it's Pogba, but no evidence to that. But none of the man them no mess with him, and picked up a couple niggling injuries, but it, for me, was really chemistry and age, but chemistry was the main one. Man, them now look for him from the field. He was just dead. The man, we pay all that money, send Mkhitaryan. Mkhitaryan kind of did over to at Arsenal. Them sell him now to Roma, but he was supposed to be again like. No, we still on the look for our next number 7. We instead of buying Sancho, who's gonna get it, we bought Giallo. We have Greenwood using over there. We have James using over there. But we still have that void on the right side of our attack. And there's always a little bit of imbalance there because we need that on that side. But we're going to Real Madrid and we're going to compare the signings of Eden Hazard so far and Kaká. Let me tell you something. Part of it isn't Kaká's fault, but the heights that Kaká was at when he got moved from AC Milan to Real Madrid. Kaká was a Ballon d'Or winner. He was the best, most graceful midfielder I ever seen. That man that kick and run. That man that was the greatest kick and run midfielder. The drive that he had, the speed that he was moving with, and the fact that you can get 15 to 20 goals from midfield out of him every season. Plus the banana placement finish. Graceful player. Got signed the same summer, only for what? Less than a month later for Ronaldo to come and shatter the world record and drown him out. But I think the heights that Kaká was at for all the injuries that he picked up, he wasn't an influence in any of Real Madrid's success after he got signed. And he got pushed out the door kind of quietly. But yeah, Kaká's fall from grace was super heavy, but because Real had so many other talents to kind of rely on, it's not that they don't remember him fondly. It's like you just don't care. He's like, oh, he was there, cool, but him not really do nothing for the side. On the flip side, you have Hazard. Hazard was brought in. They did some bundle of foolishness, forget the number 7 upon him back. He was supposed to be the heir apparent to Ronaldo, help out Benzema, contribute with, 15 goals a season, maybe 15 assists, something. And that man, I think, is what? Maybe 5-10 games he started since he's been there. He's on year 2. Then win the league last year and got no contribution from him. None. And the injuries that he's getting for the amount of time, it's the first in his career. I'm following Hazard from, he was at Lorient. And he go from there to Chelsea. I've never seen Hazard picking up this many injuries for this amount of time. And talk about wet tissue, tissue soak, single ply. Like, the man reached back, 2 weeks ago, come on in with 15 minutes left for Real Madrid after being out of football for like 2 months. And within the 15 minutes, pick up another injury and it's out for another 2 months. It's crazy. I don't know what. I don't know what. Maybe it's the food or something in Spain. But Hazard's fall, I'll give that greater than Kaká's, even though Kaká was higher because Kaká has the Ballon d'Or to show for it. But Hazard, the amount of pressure that's on Hazard is different than the amount of pressure that was on Kaká. Kaká wasn't even missed, even though they had broke the world record to buy him at the time. Hazard is supposed to come and set up the team, and like Vinicius shouldn't be getting as much game as he's getting. Neither is Rodrigo. Like it's clear Vinicius has Dembele syndrome and he can't shoot. But it should be Hazard in those positions, and you should be getting 15-20 goals a season from him, and he's just not there, especially after them give him the number 7. So I have to give it to Hazard as being a worse signing for Real Madrid than Kaká. Now, Arsenal fans, we're going to go recent for you. Who is our worst signing? We're just going to say this the last 2 years. Pepe or Willian? To me, I'm kind of up on the same level, but Pepe is worse, and this is according to some of my Gunners brethren them, because Pepe got bought for $72 million, right? That's the same money, actually a little bit more than what Crystal Palace asked for Zaha. To me, Zaha being English and used to the Premier League, Zaha would have been more productive, even though he's older, he'd have been more productive for Uno than Pepe has been. Now, Pepe has won a couple games for you. I'm putting in some very nice highlights. But for the price, he ain't it. Pepe is also the reason that you guys went out and paid for Willian. Willian was supposed to come in and kind of stabilize what Pepe wasn't doing. So Pepe is, to me, the worst signing. But, boy, Willian come in. Willian, who was the big number 10 at Chelsea, keeping man like Hudson-Odoi and them man out of the side, was a great performer, dead ball specialist. The work rate from Willian for pressing and for running back was just tremendous. And you don't see none of that at Arsenal. Him barely getting when everybody fit, he's not taking Saka's game. Barely taking Pepe game. So he's being overpaid to essentially ride the bench. And that's crazy to me. He's barely above Reece Nelson in my eyes. And Reece Nelson not getting no game. So Willian is pretty bad. But again, because Pepe is the reason Willian got bought, Pepe to me is the worst signing. Now for the last one, we're going to look at Barcelona. Now Barcelona, we're going to go with two players that are currently on your books. I'm not going any further back than that. And we're going to look at Griezmann and Coutinho. Antoine Griezmann, the two of them suffer from the same problem to me, where they're both number 10/false nines that play in a similar position to Lord and Savior Mr. Messi. So in order to facilitate what Messi does better than them, they have to kind of play out of position and not be as effective or work within the team dynamic as they could be. A lot of the times, especially when Coutinho had first moved to Barcelona, he was ended up in the same position, just naturally from just moving and where you want to collect the ball as to where Messi was. Can't have two false nine forward. It just didn't work. And the same thing going on with Griezmann right now. Griezmann, who was the talisman for Atletico Madrid, you know, you could get 25 goals from him. He's actually still looks like he's the creative piece that they're missing over there. He came over to Barcelona and it's just not working with him and Messi. Now they get rid of Suarez, and if Messi not scoring, no goals coming out of that midfield. Shout out to Ansu Fati, whenever he makes it back, he'll be able to make a difference with them with them. But Coutinho to me is the worst signing, even though the money is kind of similar, because one, Barcelona said because we don't want to meet the amount of games that Coutinho will play this season, we're going to bench him for the rest of the season to not pay $10 million. That's bad so far, right? It already sounds terrible. But last Champions League, he was in and scored against them getting embarrassed 8-2. So for the $140 million that they paid for him, he's the third most expensive player ever. For him to not work out, get loaned to another side, beat Uno, win the Champions League, which you bought him to go win, then come back playing okay, then don't have to stop playing because you don't want to play a bonus. The Coutinho situation is probably one of the most embarrassing I ever seen in football, ever. I've never, like, the combination of everything that's going on is it's insane. And he's part of the reason that Barcelona is in debt right now, but we leave that alone. Now, is there any other transfers where, you know, you see how I compare the two of them? So two bad transfers, similar positions or similar situations that I forgot for a big team. Drop them in the comment section below. I know there's a couple that, you know, probably didn't come to mind. Maybe Chelsea have some, maybe Havertz and somebody. I don't know. Man City, maybe one of them striker. think about it. But drop in the comment section below. Let me know who you think from my choices of which was the worst signing. If you have any different opinions, you know, I'd love to give some feedback on that. You can follow us again. We're on IG, One Aim Sports. Just search for it. You know, I'm over there. Just interact, like some photos. You know, send me some stories, whatever you wanna. If you want to see some content too, that's a good place to contact me. And share, like, share, subscribe to the content. I see you watching. You know, just send it around to some more people. Let them see the content that you love to take in. And thank you again for all the support. This is One Aim.